I'm here with another.
You know what's weird? I had this set last week, and I have no idea why it keeps continuing to do that. If you can hear me just fine, yeah, no, that wasn't on purpose. Not on purpose. Let me just type this out just in case. If you can hear me, though, that's fantastic, and I really hope that I can be heard, because I think everything else is good. Alright. Now, let's see here. Desktop audio 2, mic auxiliary audio. This has to work now. There is no way that I cannot. Alright, fantastic. Whew. You know, I feel like this is a recurring theme. Every time I start a stream, sometimes what happens is I end up having to reconnect my mic despite the fact that I have it set to default. Alright, but thank you so much, Luna, and thank you so much for joining. It's good to hear from you, or see you rather, because I'm seeing your spoken word. And we're going to have a lot of fun with Beyblade, which we, of course, picked up on last week. Last Saturday, to be more specific. This is going to be a continuation, and on top of that, we're going to be using some more of the source, and it looks like as well that I was able to figure out one key joke idea that had been entertained last week. The idea of having Kenta run for one of the scenes, chiefly the one that has him saying something like a true blader doesn't run, or something like that. And, I mean, I think there's a way that we can do that. We'll have to explore another episode of Beyblade. How much fun is that going to be? And try to find that rip. But for now, let's pick up where we left off. And we had the middle of the episode in some spurts. The last thing that I was trying to do was get Kenta to complete his, I guess for lack of a better word, descent from the edge of the rail as he was being pestered by, the little kid. I don't even know all of their names, except, well, no. Kenta is the kid. Jinga, whose name, by the way, is spelled Gingka. That's his name. And for some odd reason, that's how you pronounce it. Doesn't sound Japanese enough. So here's what we've got so far. As far as getting him to leap off, I was able to complete this effect. And you can see it right here. He's got the leap completed. I might make a little adjustment because there's a little bit of a forward movement. It took me a sec to phonetically sound the Bay and Beyblade. Yeah, I mean, such a weird concept, and you know what? It's sold. Actually, I think it's good the way it is. So, let's add some sound effects to this. Let's go into our handy-dandy YouTube. And garbage can crash sound effect. Trash can sound effect. Let's see. And if the volume is right.
Whenever,
wherever, whoever. Oh, that was pitiful. Wow. That is a pitiful garbage can sound effect. I can't believe I had to listen to a wherever for that. All right. So let's try maybe cartoon. Adding cartoon to it ought to help us out. Let's see. Junk Crash. Maybe this is it.
This is my comeback.
I'm glad it is. Yeah. This is what we want. I love how, I use 2 different browsers for different things. Right now, I'm using Microsoft Edge, and Microsoft Edge just has the ad blocker built in, and it cuts it off at the best moments. I love it. So we're going to download this, add it to the Beyblade folder, and we're going to use this. It's going to be a perfect sound effect. You see, I grew up with Looney Tunes, and the Looney Tunes sound effects work so well in YouTube Poops. In fact, I can't believe that people aren't using more and more of them, especially since they're so freely available on YouTube. So feel free to use them in your own videos, since I think they're, if memory serves, public domain by now. And if they're not, people probably will have found some good alternatives. In fact, fun fact, when I was just starting out, I didn't always get my sound effects from YouTube. There was another website called the Free Sound Project. And the Free Sound Project has sound effects. They're still out, by the way. A lot of great ones. Some you can use for actual serious movies, but you might still find some good stuff, as it's been up for a long time. Have I seen the thing's newest work? I have. I know it's out. I haven't watched it yet. I want to be... So, I watch YouTube Poops most of the time from my computer. Almost everything else on my phone. I love the sound of YouTube Poops through headphones. I can hear those little idiosyncrasies. So I haven't watched it yet. I know she put one out, I think it was like a day or 2 ago. I did see her stream though, her art stream, by the way. If you haven't, if you don't have a Twitch account, if you don't have a Twitch account, definitely get one, because she has wonderful art streams, lots of fun to watch and listen to, and she'll always talk YouTube Poop whenever she likes. Yeah, welcome tonight. It's really, really interesting. In fact, I have to recommend this one. Like, the Movies Feels Good one, this I loved, because every time I go to an AMC theater, I get that cheesy-ass promo, and I have no idea how it took anyone this long to do that much damage to it. She did it justice. Yep. So, I would recommend that one so far. Oh, good. You're following Ellie. Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm speaking to a crowd, because she has so many fans, both on the LA Spectacular side and the Things side, but it never hurts to bump. She deserves that. So let's get that sound effect. When he downloaded it, wait, I haven't downloaded it yet. I copied the link, but I haven't put it into the downloader yet. So, wait, I thought I did that. Okay, maybe I just hit the wrong button. Alright, cartoon garbage or junk crash sound effect. And we're going to pull this, we're going to add it to the timeline right over here. Oh, yeah, actually... There we go. And let me set up the lighting a little bit better. Yeah, this is my supposed light source I was supposed to be using for past streams. Instead, I've been relying on some of the bedroom lighting. As the streams get, as we go more and more into these streams, I'm going to get a lot better equipment, probably a better, well, for starters, I'm not going to use my camera built into the computer. I'm actually going to get a video card and a camcorder, an actual camcorder. And before I was using my phone, and that was just a headache and a half, because sometimes it just cut out, and I didn't like that. So, and better lighting is a given as well. Let's just point this away. I think that's good. Let's move on to that sound effect. We just want to grab it, put it in, and then get straight to it. I don't need the text part. Yeah, I'm just going to separate it, remove it. I want that sound effect here. It has that drum sound effect that's a little excessive. I want it without that drum sound. That's it. Maybe I can squeeze it down a little bit. When you squeeze these sources, as in you do the opposite of stretching them. You're compressing them. What ends up happening sometimes is the volume gets lower on it. So you have to be wary about that. And you can also sometimes get a very tinny sound. Let's see if that happens here. There we go. Let's see if that does the trick. Just making a quick volume adjustment. And then I'm going to get the, let's see here. Oh, what's my favorite quote from Movies Feels Good? Honestly, it's a little bit embarrassing. I have to re-watch it. Let's put it back on.
Will nothing say?
We come to this AMC theater for movies. We see theaters all over the place, and we go somewhere. We never go to movie theaters.
There are lots of them. So there's, let's see, there's one that I want to find. Let me go to the transcript here. Let's see. Was it this one? I think it was. Also, is there a definitive release day for John Law and YouTube Poop? There's no definitive release day, but it is in the finishing touches stage. So that is on its way. I just need to get those finishing touches done. The thing about trying to complete that is that it's more like, if I try to do a stream on what I view as finishing touches, it's going to be a little bit boring, and it's not exactly going to be as entertaining as this part of the process for YouTube Poops. When I add finishing touches, what I love to do is I love to just look over everything, watch it, rewatch it again, pay attention to all the tiny little frames, and then make it so that if I have a mistake, or if there's something I want to do better, or if I want to scrap something, it's kind of like the quality control stage. And usually what I do there is I'll just spend maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, depending, or even longer than an hour actually, depending on things. And that's probably going to be done a little sooner rather than later. But also the other videos I'm trying to create at the same time. There are still some other jokes that I want to add to it, because a lot of things I wrote down I haven't yet added to the video. What is... Hang on. I think it was the AM Cedars.
Spice.
Yeah, it was like AM Cedars
come to
right
this
here.
AMC theater for movies.
Yeah, she made it a
We'd see
pretty cool
theaters all
recurring
over the
joke.
place. AM theaters.
Yeah.
We better make movies perfect.
That's it. That's it. AM Cedars, we better make movies. But she's fantastic at that kind of word mixing, and I think that that's the thing that I think all YouTube Poop creators, new or otherwise, they have to really adapt to, because when you just make a simpler edit on a word or a sentence, it's going to be a lot more memorable than if you try all of these complex things, and you will often end up with a mishmash trying to tell a joke rather than an actual joke. Hey, what's going on, Cyber Colts? Welcome in. Welcome in, my man. I think that I can just... Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry. I just want... Let's rewatch this. I want to finish it through.
To laugh. Cry.
Yeah. Oh man. The guy spitting out water. She's used before in other videos of hers, or I think at least one. I remember, but man, that's the kind of thing that makes me do a double take.
I love.
Oh, thank you so much, Cyber. I really appreciate that, man. And let me tell you, I wish that I have been making videos all this time. I wish I hadn't taken a break. That way I could, say that, the 10 or 12 years has been full 10 or 12 years. But thank you so much for being a fan, my man.
I don't care. Because we need movies. All movies. Dazzling movies. Weak movies. Perfect movies. That describable feeling we get when we see movies. Not just a movie, but somehow four. Movies feel like that feeling that I can feel. Sound that I can hear. Movies that I can move like this.
Yeah, she used it in
Like magic.
the last two food
Ghost
installment.
images that I can fear. I begin to scream. I scream, you scream, we all scream.
Yep. It's such a simple video, but it doesn't need to be anything, too complex. And gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, let's get back to here. So he falls off, and if he were to fall off, he would continue to descend, assuming this is a descent like that far. I want to get a camera shake here. Let's get a camera shake. Actually, to get a camera shake, I think I should zoom in a little bit to start and position at the top. So again, using anchors and panning, we're gonna make it look like something that came straight out of Looney Tunes. There we go. Yeah, I mean, Ellie knows how to YouTube poop just about anything. I mean, the thing about Ellie is that the best part about her is that she doesn't try to YouTube poop everything. Or anything. She poops what she is comfortable with, what she looks at and decides, yeah, I can do something with that. The idea that you can do anything as a YouTube pooper. I mean, I've looked at sources and come up completely blank, where others spin gold out of them, and that's perfectly fine. Ellie is so versatile with the kind of jokes that she tells that a lot of sources can apply to her, but at the same time, she doesn't try to do too much with them, nor does she try to tackle sources that maybe they're a trend or a fad, and she's only doing it because, it is a trend or a fad or something like that. She does what she wants, that she feels comfortable with. It's a realm, and there's something to be said about that. You should definitely stay in that zone if you love doing that, if it's comfortable. Let's see. I want it to be faster. I need a faster shake on that. But the zoom in shouldn't be so abrupt. It zooms in. Let's see. If I can get a better zoom in. I'll just zoom out just a smidge. That'll have some kind of effect. I gotta go. Might be back later. No worries. Luna, thanks so much for stopping on by. I look forward to seeing you later. Remember, we're doing 7 to 10 Eastern time. It's almost like the zoom in is too soon. So let's just shift the anchors abroad. And let's see. Should be able to just move all the anchors at the same time. This reminds me of a joke that I did way back in 2009 on a YouTube poop called Crowbo's Voluptuous Cooking Program, where I made Captain Rescue fall and made what was initially a 2-foot drop appear a canyon. Let's add a whistle effect. I like that whistle sound effect. So a whistle sound effect. Oh wait, no, that's a train whistle. Whoosh. I think a whoosh is actually what I'm looking for. So a whoosh sound effects. Yeah, the Wow It's Made ones are really good. The Jonathan Lonathan ones are really good. Hold on. Let me see if this is it. I'm pretty. She's got a ton in the arsenal. In fact, the one that I really like is a little bit more of a personal one because it's the one that I used as source material for round 2 of our tennis. It was the one that had Brian Patrick Gilbert's. I think that was him. I should know. I'm subscribed to him.
I'm a pretty boy.
That works. Actually, no. Whoosh whistle. Maybe is. Something like that. Let's see. Whoosh, swoosh, whistle sound effects.
Preview. Preview.
What the heck?
Preview.
What in the world? Where did you learn to fly? Let's see. Speeds by whistle sound effect. That ought to be useful here. Free whistle, referee whistle, cartoon whistle slip, I think is what we want. Yeah, that's the one I want. That's actually the one I was just thinking about. And what does this Pizza Hut add? Do I really have to do something about that? Cartoon whistle slip up sound effect. Let's pop it in, use it for the little leap right here. I think that's a fantastic idea. And let's get that added properly. Let's see. There we go. Let's put it on this channel. There we are. So, all in all, what we need to do is get a lot of chatter from Kinta that leads up to this leap. I did a little bit of stuff at the end of the last stream.
Jinga, do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? How about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga?
Yeah, there we go. So let's get the full version of it off to the side so we can pull from that and use it as we go along.
Call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? How about Mr.
Yeah.
How about Mr. Hug?
I love the way that this all ends. Like, sometimes you can see the joke in your head and you envision everything. Oops. You envision everything just before it happens. All you're doing is building the path. Like, it's like, you know, instructions almost to a Lego set, to a building. All you're really doing here is paving the way to where you want to go. He falls for hours like Luigi. I think that just the simple act of falling would work, but I could reference that in the, let's see, I can reference that in a future joke. So let's do that. Let's pull out better writing utensil. I'll write that down. So, I can feel the joke in my bones. So can I. Welcome, Lawson. Let's get that written down. So, falls for hours, magic balloon. For hours. Definitely have to make a reference to that at some point. I'm sure that we can, since we've gone through the trouble of cutting out Jinka so that we could use him for this fall effect, and I'm sure that we could use this in other ways. Like, look at this. I could just pull this, because this is his entire body. It's in perfect motion. It's falling. Oh, but this takes too long to get to the sound effects. So let's speed up that process. I want to reduce that, and then pull these all the way, and just snap them over here so that the distance between when he starts to descend and when he crashes is there. There we go. It probably would also be really effective if we can find enough words to make it happen. Just have him keep talking while this is all going on.
Hey, Jinga, how about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? Hey, Jinga, how about Mr. Do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? How about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? Hey, Jinga.
How about Mr.
Oh no, let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I got here.
Let's see.
That was awesome, Jinga. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome.
There we go. Let's do this. Let's see if this is a viable tool. Sometimes, you know, simple is best. Yeah. Something about the way that sounds. Belay the blade.
That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? How about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? Hey, Jinga, how about Mr. That was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like something that would be really...
Jinga, do you mind if I call you Jinga? Hagane. Oh no, let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to... I don't know how...
Oh, man. Let's keep it going.
I don't know... I don't know how...
Let's see. Let's just see if we can cut it off before the how.
I don't know how... I don't know how... I don't know... Awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? Hey, Jinga.
I don't know you, Jinga. Let's see if we can make that happen.
I don't know you, Jinga. I don't know you, Jinga.
That's a little harder to push through.
Awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping. Kenta, by the way. I'm Kenta. I'm Kenta, by the way.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm Jinga, by the way.
I'm Kenta, by the way. Jinga. Jinga. Jinga.
Here we go.
I'm Kenta, by the way. Kenta, by the... Kenta, by...
Oh, wait, holy smokes. Oh my god. Oh my god. He says, I'm Kenta, by the way. It sounds almost, this is a Star Wars fan in me, it sounds almost like Cantobite. Let's do, oh man, Cantobite.
I'm Jinga, by the way. Mr. Saws was awesome. I'm Jinga, by the way.
Let's see if I can make that happen.
How to repay you? How about Mr. Hagane? Oh no, let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. I'm Kenta, by the way. Kenta, by...
Yeah, let's do that. Just sometimes I just need to get this done. I just need to get this joke added.
Kenta, by... Kenta, by the...
Let's lower the volume on this.
Kenta, by the...
Yeah, let's just look for a nice image of Kentobite. I think this is how it's spelled. Kentobite. Okay. There we go. Kentobite. It's just for a split second it appears. Yeah, Kentobite. There you go. It does sound like it, and I have to use it. I have to do that. All right, R matey. I have no idea why the original file was called R, but still.
Kenta, by the...
Here we go. Delete and reapply.
Kenta by the. Kenta by the.
There we go. And now let's get back to
Well, if I
this.
call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga? How about Mr. Sauce? I'm Jinga, by the way. Mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Do you mind if I? Do you mind if I call you
Here we go.
Jinga, by the way? Do you mind if I call you? Call you?
Let's see.
Do you mind if I call you? If I call you? Do you mind if I call?
Let's see.
Do you mind if I?
Do you mind if I? Do you mind if I what?
How to repay you? Let's see what I got here. How about Mr. Hagane? Oh no, let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. You rock. How about Mr. Hagane? Are you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane?
No, this scene does extend a little bit.
Have a donut, Mr. Froggy Tuckus? Lint? I got nothing.
You don't need.
Have a donut? Jinga, by the way, do you mind if I?
This is gonna get rid of that for now. Let's see what else we can do.
Hagane. Oh no, let's go with Jinga. Oh no, let's go with Jinga.
Let's just take that little bit.
How about Mr. Sauce? I'm Jinga, by the way. Oh no, let's go. Mr. Sauce, I'm Jinga, by the way. Oh no, let's go with Jinga.
There we go.
How to repay you? Let's see what I got here. Some Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? How about?
Do you mind if I? Oh. Do you mind if I repay you with a rock? Ooh, that's a good take.
Mind if I call you? Mind if I call? Do you mind if I call?
Yeah, especially since Do You Mind If I is such an easy place to cut it off. Good thinking, Lawson.
I'm. By the way, thanks for helping me. How to repay you? How to repay? How to repay you? Repay you?
Let's see. We need a width.
Do you mind if I repay you? Repay you? Call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? You rock, Jinga. I'm. By the way, thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I got here. Have a donut, Mr. Froggy Tuckus? Do you mind if I repay you?
Let's see. Come on, keep it looking. Let's see.
It was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? Let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Do you mind if I
This is a tough one. We need a width. We need the word width.
rock, Jinga? I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. I don't know how to repay you.
See what else we can do until we find that width.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to repay you. Pay you.
There was also something else I wanted to do.
Let's see what I got. What I got here.
Mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I repay you in donuts? Ooh, Cyber, nice follow-up. There's got to be an in somewhere.
That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga?
The last name.
Jinga. Call you Jinga.
I need a clear in, and I think I can get that from a slower Jinga.
Jinga, how about Mr. Hagane? Oh no, let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me.
Ooh, helping.
Helping me.
Tough one.
Helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I here. Have a donut? Donut?
Let's get donut there.
Do you mind if I repay you? That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call? was awesome, Jinga. Jinga. Some Jinga. Some Jinga.
This sounds pretty close to an in. Sometimes an in can also be a guttural in. Like you're not completely voicing the word in. You're using it as almost like a really speedy guttural sound that implies a location. So in. So maybe this can be a way to get away with that. Let's see if it sounds right.
Do you mind if I repay you, donut?
Yeah, actually it does. Fairly. Let's get connected.
Pay you, donut. Repay you, donut. Donut.
Let's see if I bleed it. What happens?
Pay you, donut.
Less bleeding.
Pay you, donut. But repay you, donut.
There you go. Let's get an S sound. That's easy.
That was awesome, Jinga.
Right there. Awesome.
Was awesome, Jinga.
Or was.
That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hug?
Is...
Agane. Oh no, let's go, Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I...
There you go.
See what...
I just need that... He's talking so fast. So amazingly fast.
Do you mind if I repay you, donuts? You donuts?
This is the kind of thing I can also envision like a visual effect as well for. Should I add it to this? Here, let's get this.
Oh no, let's go, Jinga. God. Huggy Jinga, how about I call you? It's awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? How about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga? How about Mr. House was awesome? I'm Jinga, by the way. Oh no, let's go, Jinga. God. If I call you Jinga? God. If I call you Jinga?
Actually, there's another. Oh my god. I just had this other version of the joke.
Mind if I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I call you Jinga? Let's go, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you?
I have this idea. I have an idea.
Do you mind if I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I call you? Call you? Mind if I call you? Call you God? Do you mind if I call you God? God.
It sounds like got. I need to soften that T.
God.
A little less.
God.
All right. Let's add a new audio layer so that we can get this sentence splice added. Cut, paste. Is it encroaching? No, but even then.
Donuts? Can't abide. That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? How about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga? How about Mr. House was awesome? I'm Jinga, by the way. Oh no, let's go, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I repay you, donuts? I'm Jinga, by the way. Oh no, let's go, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I repay you?
I need to increase some space right here.
Do you mind if I repay you, donuts?
Here we go. Let's get some space so that this sentence mix has a little more time to breathe.
Can't abide. No, let's go, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I repay you? Do you mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I repay you, donuts?
Okay, let's see. Does that interrupt anything?
Repay you, donuts?
Let's see.
God, do you mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I repay you? God, do you mind if I repay you, donuts? Can't.
So let's watch the whole thing now.
That was awesome. awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I hug you, Jinga? How about I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga? How about Mr. Sauce was awesome? I'm Jinga, by the way. Oh no, let's go, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you God? Do you mind if I pay you donuts? Can't buy.
There we go. What a great little mix. And that was a great suggestion, Lawson and Cyber. Great job on helping me with that. I love it when additions like that go into the video. I wonder if actually there's a way that we can like add I Fell for Hours to this, or maybe at a later. Maybe a little later. Let's keep that joke fresh, relatively fresh, and then we're gonna combine it with another joke that I had set up.
Just relax like this.
Like
This is when I have to just add the finishing touches for.
like this? What?
Oh, by the way, he says "wow" a lot.
Wow!
Let's see. Now we got a meteorite falling and then landing on them, and the smoke effect I need to make happen a little bit better, but
Bummer!
I love that sound as it collides.
Wow!
Let's see if we can get a little bit better of a maybe a zoom in as it impacts, so that way the increase in the smoke after effect, especially since this smoke gets cut off right here because of the borders. So let's cut this, and at the point of impact, let's begin the process of, oh wait, no, I want this is what I want. The point of impact, let's start getting the thing zoomed in enough so that it looks like a more gargantuan impact. If we can make that happen, that's fantastic. But it's gotta look clean. This doesn't look as clean as I want it to look. Excuse me. Oof. Let's see. Let's see. The thing is that the tail of this meteorite. Ooh, a fade to white. Interesting idea. Interesting idea right there. A fade to white. A fade to white. And then maybe even... I have an idea. Well, first, let's get the white. Because I actually don't have... Okay, let's get white background. I actually need to re-download the color white, so let's get this saved. Save image as Beyblade. Let's just go W. W and fade to white, and then we have the sound, the rumbling. Yeah, you read my mind, like a huge explosion. So a huge explosion that occurs because of this, and the bummer acting almost as the cherry on top. In fact, as well, we could probably use some, some Dragon Ball Z scenes where there's this gigantic monumental explosion occurring from the perspective of space here. Okay, I'll have to just... There we go. Suspend that bummer. And let's get Dragon Ball Z Planet Explosion from Space. I wonder if there is such an effect. They really destroyed a lot of things in that show.
I'm a pretty boy. I'm
Pizza.
It's a little too pixelated. I want something that might actually be from the show. Let's see. Let's see. Actually, I do know a little bit of... I wonder if this is an explosion with a sound effect.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Nah. That won't work. I need something that's gonna... Let's see. Actually, I don't think it matters if the planet explodes. Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F End of the World. Yeah, let's see what this does.
Don't dream of resurrecting.
I just want to zoom ahead to take care of any potential... Oh, here we go. Yeah, this coupled with the right sound effect, the right explosion sound effect. Let's make this a 721. Rumbling explosion sound effect. Large, distant, heavy rumble. Let's see. Actually, no, I don't think it makes a difference. I have a lot of explosions already, so let's see what we can pull from what we've already got. So, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection. Let's use the destruction of the planet. When I was young, that was actually one of my biggest fears, the Earth spontaneously exploding. Yeah, there we go. Right there. And considering the perspective that the camera takes, we need to do a flip on this. We definitely don't need that chorusy music. We need just some good old-fashioned explosions.
Then you just came.
That's something else. Alright. Whoops. Let's make this a... Yeah, let's make that happen right here. And then this fades back in from the white. Then we have...
Bummer!
And before we take a look at our other explosion options on YouTube, let's take a look at what we've got in our folders already. Let's see what we can recycle. I'm sure that there is some kind of explosion that we could do here. Right. Dust explosion, Challenger explosion, grenade launch explosion, dust explosion. That's a soft explosion, a short one too. Looks like we'll just need to pull the explosion sound effect. Whoops. Okay, well, this is that DBZ one. Let's see what this sounded like again. No, it needs to be better than that. Better than that. No, it's gotta be a little much more. Let's see what nuclear sounds like. Come on. That's just the air siren. Here we go. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. Oppenheimer in theaters this summer. Are you looking forward to that movie? I am. Alright, nuclear explosion sound effect. Man, this does a lot. This completes a huge joke that I was trying to figure out. So before, what I was trying to do is I was trying to keep the explosion grounded. Let's see. That is loud, though. Although it is... There we go. Let's bring it down here to this level so that we can measure it. Right about here. Right about here is good. I don't want to let this run for too long. I want to tighten it up. Okay, and then let's get the thing to move faster. Hey, what's going on, Kim SMK? Hi, cool. It's cool that you're streaming. Yeah, thank you. Try to make it a thing every Thursday. I try to stream something. Can't wait to see how this all turns out. If you're familiar with Beyblade, well, we have a little treat for you because Beyblade is what we're working on right now. Alright, right here is where I want to cut this off. Just want to shorten it just a smidge because the wow sound effect goes on a little short. Nah, I still think it needs to be cut a little bit more. Maybe to right about here. And then the scene of them both lying there. Needs to be cut a little bit right here. Oh, lights are doing that thing. Let me just turn off these lights here. Let's see what we've got. I need to go to my app. Perfect. That's much better. Hey, what's going on, Sal? Sal Shah, welcome to the stream. I am familiar. Also, congrats on the actually 100% accurate pronunciation. Well, I come from something of a speaking background, so getting it right the first time is what I'm trying to do here. I used to collect Beyblade tops when I was 12. So let's see, one of my friends actually had a Beyblade and had the plastic stadiums that you could battle them in with. So ultimately, I had a Beyblade too that he gave me just to, mess around with. It's actually a pretty well-built top. You do get a lot of fun trying to get him to stay up for a long time. Yeah, and battled him with my brother. Yeah, I mean the cool part is you do actually get a little bit of fun from the battles. I just think that the show in and of itself, like, they made a Beyblade anime. Why did they have to do that? I'm still a little bit incredulous about it, but the toys are pretty cool. There we go. So we got that joke completed, and we don't need these green screen effects anymore, so I'll get rid of them. Now, man, I wonder how much Beyblades go for nowadays, and if they're still making them even. So let's see. Let's go to this scene again. There's something he says that sounds an awful lot like, he says "my home," and the way that he says it almost sounds like Mahomes. So let's go there and
Rivals in order to become the very strongest blader.
The whole country? By yourself?
Yep.
Wow! That's so cool! I bet you fought a lot of tough battles. That must be what makes you so strong. I don't want to bug you too much. You must be tired. I'll let you rest. Anyway, how can I become stronger like you?
Stronger?
Yeah, it's normal for a blader to want to become stronger, right? I know that I need to work on my attack power and stamina. If only I could become as strong as you, Jinga. Those face hunters wouldn't be able to make a fool out of me.
Actually, I think that the sound the way he says it comes a little earlier.
Rivals in order. My home is.
Yeah, there it is. In fact, it also sounds like my homies. They still sell them for sure. They aren't very expensive except for first season Beyblades. No surprise there. The initial Beyblades were so popular. I saw them on TV all the time, but the first editions of anything is going to be really, really hot, and I don't even know how much different the newer ones, aside from the color schemes, are.
My home is.
Here we go. My home.
My home is.
So let's take that, and let's see if we can make Patrick Mahomes out of that. Well, for that, I'm gonna have to turn to the. I'm gonna have to turn to the transcript. Again, I hate to badger you on this point, but if you're gonna sentence mix and your source is YouTube, get a transcript. Helps you in so many more ways than you can think, and this is gonna be one of them. So. I remember the Metabots show, so do I. I actually remember seeing ads for Metabots, but I've never seen a single episode of it. But I think it was like on, what is it, Fox Kids or something like that. Here we go. Let's go to, let's see, it's Beyblade Metal Fusion Episode 1. And let's get that transcript so we can see whether or not there is an opportunity to make Patrick Mahomes from what he says in this show. So obviously we need to start off with a guitar shred. Now let's see, PAT. Let's start with that. There's no PAT, but is there a PA? Is there a PA? And the first, okay, so we have repay, but that's said by Kinta. What we need is something said by Jinga, because the pa, it's gonna be a soft A sound. Now you're gonna pay for your big mouth. No, that's another character that says it. Well, let's get this party. I built a model of the Fox Kids was my first time seeing anime as a tiny kid. Yeah, I know that. Let's see. I think Fox Kids also had Digimon as well. I think they were really trying to compete with WB, which had Yu-Gi-Oh, which had Pokemon, the big one, of course, but they were trying to combat that with their own slew of, animated series for kids that, of course, had their own toy line. But Fox, let's see, they had Metabots, they had Beyblade. I think that there was a Monster Ranchers show too. I don't remember 100%, but I do know that there were several games, and I think that was spun off into anime. Could be wrong. I built a model of the bee Metabot. I thought they all looked like bees. It's weird. When I looked at Metabots, the first thing when I was young, I thought these are just tiny Transformers or something like that. So what is Metabots exactly? I haven't seen a single episode, don't know anything about the franchise. Is it just robots that battle? I wonder if they are. Alright. This is not... You'll pay... Alright. So there's no PA, there's no soft PA sound, so we might have to look to BA and harden that P sound. I'm sure that there's a way that we can do that. So let's start from the top. In fact, BA might actually give us some better results. We can always add the sharp P later and just focus on getting that lip sound correct. And Digimon. Yeah, Digimon, of course. Digimon, I think, was the big one at the time because you had the big rivalry between Pokemon and Digimon back in the early 2000s. Oh, yeah. Battle. If he says battle, I can turn that into first half of Patrick. Okay. Battle. Here we go. There we go. Yes, it's a collectathon with an anime, effectively, yeah. I mean, gotta catch them all that stuff. Man. Whew. Let's see. Smart guy in the way of battle. Battle us. So will you do battle? This is my battle. Let's see. Back there. There we go. 1032. 1032. In fact, it's right around the point where we are in the show, so that's great. So let's get there. I think kids have robot companions that battle, so like a mix of how in Digimon the humans have one Digimon, and in Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc. with battling people. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what it really felt like. I've only ever seen like advertisements on those kids' shows. Well, more like, promos for the show. And they had those action sequences where the battles, or the robots were battling. So, I wonder how big it was in Japan. Sometimes big things that are really big in Japan that they try to import to the US don't last a long time.
Just relax like this.
Like...
Okay, let's get to the part in the episode that I want to get to. We're talking about the face hunters.
The very strongest...
Wow! I don't want to bug you.
Let's see, I'm pretty sure it's a little...
Don't worry about it. Just relax like this. Strength has nothing to do. You must put your heart...
Really heavy. Hey, Jinga.
Okay.
Jinga.
And, oh god, Zoids. There's another one. Actually, I think Zoids wasn't Zoids on Toonami. I remember seeing episodes on Toonami, and what made Zoids stand out so much was I actually had one. It was given to me a long time ago. I had no real attachment to the franchise except I've seen 1 or 2 episodes. But they were really, really complex toys. Like, so much detail in those figurines that you could make them move in certain ways. Just really amazing. But also in the show, I remember being struck by how they were using 3-dimensional graphics to make the robots in the show. I thought that was mind-blowing for me at the time. Yeah, Zoids was on Toonami. I remember seeing Gundam episodes as well. In fact, I actually saw Gundam episodes at some of the later Toonami blocks. In fact, Toonami actually had some really fantastic shows, and I think that it's really responsible for giving it a lot of people that kickstart into anime. I got into Dragon Ball Z through Toonami, and that springboarded me into some deeper shows as I was introduced to the internet. I don't think if it wasn't for, Toonami, I don't think I would love Haruhi as much, even though the two almost have nothing to do with each other. Another, whole bunch. Actually, there were some really good movies that they showed on Toonami, some really good anime movies as well. I'm glad that they brought it back in the, early 2000s, and, obviously it's not the same, but you got Tom, the voice actor for Tom, one hell of a block. It really changed people's lives. I used to watch Toonami before school. I forgot that Toonami, yeah, it was on before school as well. Now, I always caught it after school because you had Dragon Ball Z, 2 episodes, always 2 new episodes, and I was introduced to Dragon Ball Z in the Cell Saga, so I was really hooked with how long the fights were, how gripping they were. I remember seeing Big O and a few other shows, and then after the Toonami block was over, I caught Animaniacs, which was an amazing series in and of itself. Let's see. Where's the Face Hunters dialogue? Oh, wait. Oh, man. Oh, he's talking about the Face Hunters as they're walking. That's why I can't find them.
It seems thugs like them are everywhere.
They've done it to a lot of my friends. Yeah, they force younger opponents.
Tell me who those guys were back there.
There we go. Back.
We're back there.
This is sentence mixing. You just gotta look for those tiny little blurbs.
Back.
And I love the way that he says back. It's perfect because it's gonna lead into that T sound. In fact, I think that I can get trick, perhaps. If not, I can get a TRI sound. And if not a TRI, a TRE. Like a soft E, which will resemble a soft I sound.
My home.
And by the way, Patrick Mahomes, in case you don't know who he is, he's a very famous quarterback who currently plays in the NFL. I used Shohei Ohtani in one of my YouTube poops, Game On Part 2, and I think that there's, I can't pass this opportunity to sentence mix Patrick Mahomes. Alright, now let's see if Trick is there. T-R-I. No. It's probably not going to be there because I see here, but let's see if T-R-E is present. T-R-E. Let's go to the transcript. Strength. What's the first instance? Actually, I think that strength. How does he say the word strength? How does he say it? This could be useful. Blader's true strength. I need it to be a softer E sound. So the way I say the word strength is strength. But if he emphasizes that E long enough, we can possibly use that to... Yeah, we could possibly use that to make the second half of Patrick.
That's heavy! Really heavy!
Yeah, like I said, he's easily impressed. Makes a lot of funny sounds.
Who's connected with it is a Beyblade's true strength.
Strength. Okay. So, he's voicing the word strength like it's a long A sound. Like the word ape. So, now that we know that's how he would say that word, I wonder if there's another shortcut that I'm not thinking of. Remember, we need to make the word trick. Ick. Hey, what's going on, Hercules? It's good to have you back. We're messing around with Beyblade again. Let's see. T-R-I. Let's just look at T-R-I. No. Let's just look at R-I I sounds and see what our options are. Rip. Yeah, of course we know about let it rip. Alright then, my home is right. No, he doesn't. That's a long I sound. Like ice cream. I needed I. Rivals. Right. Right. Rip. Ooh. Rip. Yes. It's damn well it's going to be fun. Just had a little bit of an epiphany. He does say let it rip toward the tail end of the episode when he's fighting the 100 Beyblades. Let's see if this can be used the way I want it to be used.
Let it rip! 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 Rip!
I used to buy Gundam action figures from Toys R Us. Now there's a name. Toys R Us. Yeah, I missed that place. I got my Connects from Toys R Us. But Gundams were... Gundam was an awesome show. Like, so the version of Gundam I think that I watched may have been a little bit different from everyone else's version. Let me just... I think it was called Z Gundam. I could be wrong. So, the version of Gundam that I saw was... And I'm not going to spoil the story because I don't know too much about it, but I loved the animation. I loved the art style, the paint. It had this storyline where you had a man whose I guess family built a Gundam, and then they were arrested upon being suspected of building what's called a Dark Gundam. And then it's revealed that the brother is actually evil, and he kills the mom. So the other brother is trying to hunt him down. I think that was Z Gundam. I've seen bits and pieces of episodes. I never watched it chronologically. Maybe I've only seen 4 or so episodes, but I loved that show because it was extremely, extremely mature. It was completely unlike anything I'd ever seen. I want to randomly say I watched 3 Idiots because of you. I'm very fond of it. That's wonderful. Yeah, it's a great movie, isn't it? I mean, 3 Idiots is, in my mind, the quintessential Indian movie, in that it's the kind of movie that can only be made in India. It's about for many people, an Indian experience, about an Indian philosophy, life in many ways, and it's something that you'll take something from it. You'll love it. It does get very melodramatic at times, but you will not regret it. And Amir Khan is a fantastic actor. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I still think it'd be hilarious if you added a ton more Beyblades flying around that clip when you see all the Beyblades in the air. Yeah, I mean, Ooh. So, in other words, Beyblade squared. When we get to that, I think I can pivot to that next after what I'm doing. Let me just write that down. Beyblade. I'll use the better pen. What am I doing? Blade squared. So multiple. Multiple Beyblades at once. G Gundam, I think. Okay. Yeah, G Gundam. You might be right. That might be it. Welcome here. Oh, did I say welcome to you, Hero of Logic? I don't think I did. Welcome to the stream, my man. I build Gundam model kits. How complex are those Gundam model kits? Because I've seen how detailed those robots and those figurines can be. I imagine it's really cool to see them finished like that. Let's get that rip sound. It's so intense.
Back.
In fact, it's also stretched out. If I shrink it, I'm still going to get that intensity. And there's a tinniness that comes with compressing. So that's going to be difficult to work with right here. So this is not... Oh, man. I hate that I had to say this, but this is not the version of Let It Rip that I want. Especially since there's so much So much being emphasized in that let it rip. I wonder if there's another instance. Okay. Patrick. Yeah, sorry, just showed up and heard you talking about the Dark Gundam and the brother, and I'm pretty sure it's G Gundam because since that's the one I like. Yeah, I also really like while we're on the subject of G Gundam, I really love the theme song, the Shining Finger theme song. Oh yeah, it has that Shining Finger scene. I mean, that's the one that I think of when I think of Gundam. Just, it sounds like it's going to be this really epic rivalry if I ever get around to completing it. I have no idea how many episodes there are. So, but either way, that's the one I watched. Some kits are easier. Okay. Let's see, let's go to that Gundam Squared idea, and then after that, keep in mind there's also that Luigi falling idea that we might be able to work with or add to some point of the video. So let's go over here. In fact, before we work on the Beyblade Square, because there's a great joke that I have been working on for this. Unfortunately, G Gundam is apparently the experimental Gundam in the franchise, so the normal ones are very different. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder what the other ones are like, because G Gundam's the only one I've seen. They're mostly military drama, I think. Okay. I can see that. I mean, for starters, when I saw a Gundam, I thought, that's got to be some kind of military machine, or maybe they fight wars with him. They have multiple Gundams, like soldiers.
A Beyblade's strength doesn't
Okay, let's see. I think it was right here that I was working on this joke.
The Beyblade attacks you in the heart.
Yeah, that's it. So let's see. First, I'm going to clean this up a little bit.
Blade attacks you in the heart.
Yeah, there he is. So I think that's just fine the way it is, actually. So what I'm doing here, he says a Beyblade attacks you in the heart. I'm going to make it a literal attack on the heart. So what I've added here is a Beyblade. It's flying right at the heart. I'm going to hit like maybe a little splotch right there and come through the other side. Did you ever see the Bengali film Pather Panchali? I recommended it to you in a YouTube comment. No worries if I haven't. No worries, actually, let me write that down. It's a Bengali film, you say, so I wonder how easy it will be to find. Because most of the time when I try to look for, let's see, I hope I'm saying that right, Pather Panchali. Most of the time when I look for Hindi movies, they'll be available on, if they're not right there on YouTube with subtitles, they'll usually be on like Netflix or Amazon. So I haven't seen it, I admit, but I'll check it out. I'll see what I can do to find that movie. Maybe my wife and I will watch it. Criterion put it out. Okay. Hopefully that makes it a lot easier to find. Let's see. Oh, I did say it right. Fantastic. I don't know the language enough to accurately say each word correctly, so I'm probably going to mess up a lot of words here and there. So let's see. What I'm going to do is complete this edit right here. I want the Beyblade that's attacking him in the heart to come out the other side. So that might mean I have to do a little bit of masking right here on top of the additional effect. So let's see what I can do about that. Let's see. What I want to do is get this Beyblade positioned right here to start. Get rid of this anchor. We're going to be starting anew. So right here to start, I'm going to shrink it, and I might have to use track motion because there's a limit to how small that I can make it. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to use track motion because it looks like it's also restricting where I can move it to. That's all right, because the position right here is a good spot for it anyway. Let's just get it positioned so it's almost right behind him, right in the back. Right there. And let's go to our handy dandy track motion here and get something rolling. So let's go to video, track motion, and actually, let's keep it the way it is for now. Let's focus on the cutting of this figure right here. So what I need to do is make a copy. And since this is going to be layered on top, I'll have to make a new layer and layer it on top. That's all right. Let's get this done. Let's get a little bit of that masking tool into place. Actually, I don't need to mask the entire figure. I just need to mask the chest. So let's just start from here. Go down here. Get the cape. And then wheel my way around. I don't need to do much else because I only need to make sure that I have the proportions of this arm right. There we go. Now let's enable the mask. Go all the way to the top, add a new video track, and post this all the way at the top so that I can work on the track motion on the layer beneath it. Tools, video, track motion. Let's pick up where we left off. Hey, what is up, Mikey B? What is going down? We got some Beyblades here. Superimpose a picture of meat when it hits. I'm going to do a blood splotch instead. Just a little sound effect to go along with it. Alright, so we have this here. Let's move the... right there. And I want to go to the frame just... actually, let's extend this by one. I want to go to the frame just before it. Extend this. And get this moved away and shrinking. It's right about here. Right about here. Let's see how it looks. Keeping in mind that we have a dual effect happening right here. This is going to hit. Is the angle right? No, the angle's just off, but it's almost there. So right now it's about maybe right between the 1 and the 2 o'clock position. We need to get it more toward the 1 o'clock position. Let's see now. It's going straight on him. Actually, I don't think it needs to be as pronounced as this. We can position this a little further here, right here. Okay, once again, Beyblade coming in through the chest. Nice. Perfect. So what's going on through? And let's... oh, Captain, my Captain, what's going on? David K, welcome to the stream. Yeah, let's get that blood splotch. And remember, whenever you're doing anything that requires a green screen and you're going to be using any fiery color, blood included, it's best to use a blue screen. Blue screen blood splatter. Okay, so our options on YouTube might be a little bit limited. Let's see what we have. If we have to use a green screen, we have to use a green screen. We just have to be very... what in the world is that? We just have to be very careful with it. Because with a green screen, it doesn't always get the... and I want the right splatter here. This is on glass. I don't want that. You can make him fall over with a puddle. That is a Oh! Man. That is a really good effect. Actually, good thinking. Good thinking. Making him fall over with a puddle. You can probably guess who I am from my greeting. Well, let's see. Well, when I think, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," I think Walt Whitman, so... That would always be my first guess. You are Walt Whitman back from the dead. Maybe there's something else I'm missing. My head is, right now, so gosh darn focused on this video, so... But, to me, you're always going to be, who you like me to be, David K. Actually, no, wait. It's coming back to me. Who keeps greeting me with "Oh, Captain, my Captain"? Oh, well. It'll come to me. It'll come to me, Walt Whitman. Alright. So let's get a blood splatter here. A Gilstrom, thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Ay, ay, ay. It was like I'm right on the tip of my tongue. All I had to do is look at the sexiest patrons list. Your name would have popped up right there. I can't believe I didn't think of doing that. Well, yeah. I came back and I heard Walt Whitman's name. Yeah, the famous poet. "Oh, Captain, my Captain." Now, Gelstrom, or David in this case, always greets me that way. Alright, let's see. I think... Ooh. This actually might be a little bit better. Not this ad, of course. Oh, hard music. Blood tube, come on. And these are bullet holes. But they're bullet holes right in the skin. I don't need the bullet holes. You made it sound so epic, but it's not what I wanted. I made it sup. What's going on, Mr. Springfield? Let's see. I'll have to go with green screen blood spatter. We're working with more Beyblade. As you might have guessed from the title. Don't worry about it. Looking at blood splatters is understandably distracting. Yeah. Tell me about it. Now I know how Dexter feels. Partly. Alright, green screen animation. Yeah, alright. Come on. Get to it. Okay, that's coming off from the side. From the side. From the side. Any impact dead on. Come on, dead on. These are almost like water balloons that are being splashed up against a wall. But, come on, give me the splatter that I want. I'm not going to get the one I want, am I? Let me zoom ahead. And there's so many different splatters. There's got to be one that fits what we're looking for. Oh, there it is. That's what I was after. That one that comes straight from the wall you're looking at. Oh gosh. And we can do 360 on this. We don't need it to be too, too busy on the, here we go, on the storage. Alright. Here we go. Let's pull from the middle because that's where we had the... That's where we had this. Oh wait, it's going off to the right now. I went a little too far. Man, there are lots of blood splatters. Okay. Right from the middle. Come on. I was just there. I just saw it. Oh, here we go. Let's cut it right here. Go straight to it. Yes. Yes, that's it. That is it. That is what I want. So let's go here. Now, for our chroma keyer, again, since we're using red on green, and this is a very deep red, we might have a little bit of a better chance of making this work right, but we have to be very precise with everything. So let's get our eyedropper to get that right shade. Let's hover our, let's see. Yeah, right here. So if you can see right on, yeah, I just saw the Beblade. Goddamn, the simplest ones are often the best. Exactly. In fact, that's actually going to be a joke in the video too. Just a simple, I was just talking about it too because The Things does it all the time. Her sentence mixes are so simple, so effortless because she looks for the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit sometimes is the best fruit. Now, anyways, you can see what the trouble is with green screens with a red on green. Now, it's a really hard thing to see because this is a deep, dark red, but you can tell that there is some green bleeding here. And if I were to try and remove it, it's going to often cut out a lot of that red. And it's also going to make it look a lot more digitized. I don't want that. Let's see how this looks, though. Maybe we'll get lucky, and we won't see any green on the leftovers. Yep, Beblade. In fact, Beblade is going to be the title of this. Alright, that's the bad guy, or whatever the bad guy wants to be.
In the card.
Right here. In fact, this needs to be superimposed again over the chest. So right at the point of impact is where we need this to hit. Right here. Okay. Get this right over, and we'll need to shrink it in order to get the right amount here. Then, and I'm probably also going to slow it down a little bit. Have you already considered doing an obvious fart joke with the Beyblade slogan letter ripped overlap? Yeah, the thing is, that has been in the back of my mind for all the time that I've worked on this. The problem has been, how do I make something like that work? It is an obvious joke. It's right there. It's low-hanging fruit. But where does it go? And should I do a small fart, a big fart, a gargantuan blast? Black and White Man Spartan, what is going on, my man? Welcome to the stream. Fiddle riddle indeed. Let's see. That's a little too slow. It doesn't make it look like an animation. Still too slow. Let's see. Preview. Okay, let's see how it looks. The animation doesn't start soon enough. Let's see. And then we need the red to stay on the chest. So I'm going to have to add another layer. My gosh. Here we go. We've got layers, boys. Onions have layers. Poops have layers. Okay. Let's make this happen. Okay. And we're going to shrink this so that it doesn't look exactly the same as the splurge of blood. Let's see how we get. Feels like it could work at the end like a post-credit scene. Yeah, at the very least, a post-credit scene. I mean, there's got to be some way to make it work. If you're looking for an utterly hilarious sound for the impact splatter, if something's being hit by a Beyblade, look at code meant 14 timestamp 633. That moment lives rent-free in my mind. Well, now I have to look. Code meant 14. Is this some kind of anime or is it something else? Oh my god. Code meant episode 14. Anime podcast? Oh my god, it is an anime, and Let's see. Rent free in my mind. 6:33. Is it gonna be like a really violent scene? All right, let's get right here. And what's the sound effect? Timestamp 6:33.
Everything is.
Oh. That is a good sound effect. Let's do what I do best. Download the whole thing just to get those few seconds. Actually, what is this show anyway? And it looks like it's some kind of fan dub or abridged series. I feel like a lot of let it rip fart jokes need some misdirections. Like you could have the MC say it, pause with total silence, and then maybe an explosive fart suddenly that sends him flying off screen. You know, it's one way of doing it. But you're spot on with misdirection. Misdirection could be a wonderful way of doing it. It's a good thought. I agree, but I think you should have another character say something at him during the pause, only to be interrupted by the fart. Ooh, that's some pretty good misdirection right there. Yeah. Purple Eyes WTF's a sheet genius. Oh, Code Geass. Okay, it's a mecha anime. Okay. I've heard of that. I've never seen a single episode of it, but I've heard of it. Isn't it from the 2000s? Am I saying it right even? Geass? Geese? Abridged. Okay, it's something I need in my life since I watched it a million years ago. Man, how old is that show, I wonder? I think it was like 2005, 2006. Came out almost when Haruhi came out, I think. If not, maybe I was just off by 1 year. Let's see. Oh wait, hang on. Did I download it yet? Wait, where's 4K video downloader? Did I close it? It's 100% worth it to watch Purple Eyes WTF stuff. He does None Piece, Codement, and One Punch Stand. I'll put this right here. I have a Bengali movie to watch. I now have a new channel to check out. I'm very finicky when it comes to YouTube channels that I follow, because most of the time I'm not someone who's going to follow someone who puts out stuff every day or every other day. Usually I follow sporadic releases. So like one of the channels I follow is Todd in the Shadows, and he does something almost like it'll be in between once a week to once every 3 weeks. And that's the kind of thing that I can follow because it gives me enough time to feel, like I'm anticipating his stuff. So I wonder how often they come out. But because of that, I don't follow a lot of YouTube channels for that reason. They almost always put something out every other day or every day, and I can't keep up with it. I hate it when I can't keep up with something. I'd rather not watch it than start, and all of a sudden I've lost track. Sadly, he's no longer. Oh man, sadly he's no longer making stuff, but he has some of the most quotable lines I've ever heard in my life. Many abridged series have that. I've seen. There's a wonderful abridged series as well. Maybe you've seen it because I wouldn't be surprised if you did. It's extremely, extremely well done abridged series. The voice work, the timing of the jokes, everything. I think it's like Alucard abridged. Oh, Helsing abridged. I love this abridged series. It is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And it keeps, the best part of it is that it's a dark show, but they make it darkly humorous. And the characters just fit so well. Like the acting actually fits so well with the characters, I mean to say. Yeah. i.e. another Train Records fan. Absolutely. Big fan of Train Records. I'm a big fan of his pop music reviews because Todd in the Shadows made me feel a little more pride in liking pop music. And I am a pop music junkie. I love listening to the hits, new and old. New especially sometimes. But when I watched him, I was able to get not just a better understanding of pop music, but also I understood why some of it is disliked, and I understood what made the really good pop music really good. And there are some really good music channels out there, like Fantano's another one of them, but Fantano, like what Todd does that Fantano doesn't do as often, he really gets into the weeds. He finds the context, he finds the history, he finds why the lyrics aren't as good or why they don't click with him, and when they do click, why they click. And those tiny little things make me get where he's coming from, even if I don't always agree with it. And that's perfect. I love that in someone who does reviews, be it of movies, of music, anything like that. And Train Records is fascinating because it needs context. You need context to understand. And in case you don't watch the Todd in the Shadows channel, Train Records is a series he does where he analyzes an album that will have killed a career, killed a band, or was just all around terrible, goes into what happened that made it that way. He also does One Hit Wonderland, where he analyzes one-hit wonders. It's another good series of his, and like I just mentioned, the pop song reviews. So, as for making Kenta fall, or Jinga, excuse me, I keep saying Kenta, making Jinga fall down, there is a scene where he does fall down on the grass after he slid down. I think that's framed right. I'll just have to go over and check it out. Let's see. It's right over here, and I might be able to do the same thing that I did with the worst Sonic fan fiction ever. When Sonic shoots Elise and Elise falls on the ground, what she's actually done in that scene, when you see it in full, is she's continuously rolling and she lands in that spot. I just made it look like that, she plopped down after she was shot. So it might be possible to make this happen. Okay, here's the scene right now. It also helps that, he doesn't change his clothes. So, yeah, right here. It's almost like a smack. The only thing is he's landing on grass, but I can work with that. Maybe a green screen effect. And he actually has his eyes shut. When he lands, he has them open in the next few frames, or he's opening them in the next few frames. I can superimpose the shut eyes over. I know about Todd. I haven't watched him, but I'm more interested in him now. Yeah, absolutely. And you'll love the way that he reviews. You'll love what he has to say. I mean, if there's any video that I would recommend, like, this is actually a video idea I've had, going over people who I follow that have less than 1 million subscribers, why I love them, and what video you should watch if you want to give them a try. Kim, if you want to get into Todd in the Shadows, there are a couple videos that I could recommend, but the one that I would always point to is his review of the Ariana Grande song 7 Rings, and it's spot on. Like, when you will watch it, you get it. Like, it just hits. Like, I can't praise that review enough. It's fantastic. Todd helped me realize that some one-hit wonders have much better songs than just one hit people know. Word Up is possibly one of Cameo's worst songs. Yeah, that's another thing. The One Hit Wonder series is a great series because there are some really good songs that, like you just said, bands will have put out that were overshadowed by this one-hit wonder. They're technically not a one-hit wonder, but he did do an episode on Hanson. I had been listening to Hanson post MMMBop And they're fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Did he say the song was good or bad? He said this. So here's the thing. He says the song is bad, but it's why it's bad that is important. I will not go into any specifics on why he said it's bad, just that you need to watch it. So let's get that land. He lands, let's see, right over here. Not here, right here. Oh, by the way, this guy is the antagonist of the show. And as is rule, antagonists must also have crazy hair. We're going to work on him a little bit as well. So let's see. Goes right through his chest. And maybe there's like a node that I could add. So let's remove this. Okay, I'm in. If he said it was good, I don't think I would have checked him out. I take it you don't like that song Seven Rings either. So I mean, the thing is, even if I picked something that went a little bit against your opinion, I would still recommend it, because the thing is, I disagree with some of his opinions as well, but I understand how he has those opinions, and what about those opinions, I truly respect him for. And it's just not a matter of, oh, I like red, therefore I like this. He goes into the weeds, like I said. You'll really like him. Watch that review. Off topic, though, I do really like Ariana Grande music. More specifically, I like her. I like her Thank You Next and After is good, but I really like the songs from before that. Let's see, one more time. Into You's a really good song. It's catchy as hell and it's sexy. It gets you in the mood. In fact, a lot of Ariana songs will get you into the mood, so to say. So let's get this landing right. We need to get the point where he hits where his eyes. Yeah, perfect. By the way, I meant to ask, who drew the character of you on your banner? I almost forgot to answer that. Yeah, let me show you. So, actually, I can just Google this, because he's one of the results when you Google me. So, he is somebody that I knew from the YouTube forums. He went by the name Hot Fried Skadoosh, and he was also a webcomic artist who put out a comic called Tim, Tom, and Jim Bob. Unfortunately, I can't find those cartoons, but he did do this for me. And this is my avatar, but if I could fit the whole thing into an avatar, I would. It's lovely. It's wonderful. And the best part is it captures Haruhi's personality. This was something he did as like a... because YouTube, the community, often celebrated its anniversaries, and this was one thing he did. He was doing commissions for free, and this is it. Definitely check out his DeviantArt. Adam, TT, and Jay, Tim, Tom, and Jim Bob. I don't know if he's active on another platform, because I don't see a lot of his stuff updated on this. But still, that's where I get the avatar from. Yeah, I'm not into many popular songs, but I know a lot of people like them. I think that the thing about popular music is that I've heard people say it's meant to be danced to, and I completely agree with it. But even when I'm not dancing to it, I just love listening to it because it's right. It just sounds sonically right to the ear. Like, you cannot tell me that you hate "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys, because when you listen to it, it just stays in your head. And as annoying as it is, I'm the kind of person that listens to that and thinks, damn, I want to listen to this again and again and again. Like I said, I'm a pop music junkie. I have no shame in that. There we go. I used to not be into popular songs, but I like popular and obscure stuff equally. For me, music is music, and I like most things generally. That's the same with me. I listen to a lot of different genres that I will, I don't know, maybe otherwise not have listened to, but most of the songs, most of the music that I do listen to is pop music, but it's a little bit more pop sometimes in the sense that it's popular rather than it's what typically fits the pop archetype. Like, for example, I've heard people classify early Jay-Z as pop. And when I say early Jay-Z, I'm talking about Reasonable Doubt. To me, I think that's a stretch, but I see where they get that because a lot of his music was extremely popular for the time, even though it was a little bit against the grain from what most people considered pop music. But I love that album. It's like I'm in a jazz club listening to it, and there's no album that I think he's released that replicates that exact feeling. So, but also I just want to listen to music and understand, get it. I'm willing to open myself to these new experiences, regardless of what the genre is. And I found some pretty good artists as a consequence. Oh man. The villain looks slightly from Merrick from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, almost. Maybe there could be a scene where you Photoshop his face and put the voice clip of him. Oh yeah, if there's a voice clip that will work really good with this character, it's ha 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 ha, shuffle well, Pharaoh. That I use a lot of times. I like that Ariana and Thundercat did a duet together on Adult Swim. Yeah, Ariana is a fantastic singer. She's one of the best voices. She can hit some incredibly high notes and not make it sound terrible. Want a drawing of you in Haruhi style, a la Kion? Okay, wait. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Dude, I love it when people do things like that. Thank you, man. Did you know Haruhi is canon to Peppa Pig? She's one of the only 3 confirmed humans in the series. The others being Satna and the late... Wait. Okay, well now I have to Google this. Why do I not have Google as my default on Edge? Haruhi Peppa Pig. Are you serious? Haruhi was referenced in an episode of Peppa Pig. Oh my god. When did this come out? Whoa. Huh. Man. Somebody is a really big fan. I applaud them for that. Well, damn, now I have to find a way to use Peppa Pig in a YouTube poop. Which is interesting because it has been used in YouTube poops many a times. I've seen all sorts of different ways. Alright, oops. Left my hand on the touchpad a little too long. Alright, so the face needs to be... Yeah. Oh, Santa, okay. You should make a pop song. Well, I have Groovinia. Okay, I don't think I could ever top Groovinia. That's kind of a pop song. There we go. That should fit a little bit better. And maybe a little bit more feathering. Maybe a little bit more so it's a little more natural. As long as the eyes don't show. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. When I was 8, I liked listening to Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys were... Let's see. When I first heard the Backstreet Boys, it was that song, I Want It That Way, and it was when it had come out, 1999, and it was everywhere. It was also, like, sung by everybody. Like, as soon as you heard the song, you had to sing along to it. It's like one of those, sometimes you hear a campfire song, and you either hum or you sing along with it. And, I think it's still one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time, just because there's so many memories attached to it. I had the cassette tape for the Backstreet Boys Millennium album, and my this is all the way back in 3rd grade. My then girlfriend, 3rd grade girlfriend, was with me, and we would often, from my little Walkman, play that song on loop along with Larger Than Life. So there's some emotional attachment to it as well, but it's also just a really damn good, catchy melody. Oh my god, that makes me so happy whenever Haruhi is remembered. Account Haruhi is an era-changing anime. It really was. It really was. So, KyoAni brought TV animation quality to a new level. And yeah, you're absolutely right about that, but the reason why Haruhi was so groundbreaking is because it was something that is a little bit ironic in how it did it. Haruhi actually was a mirror of the anime industry. And what I mean by that is, when you look at the show, what it's actually about is identity crisis. And what... Let me just get this pasted down. It's about an identity crisis and what it means to be a... what it means to be a human in an era and in a country where you have so much density and so much promise that feels like it isn't going to be fulfilled because someone else will get to it. And the reason why that's so tough is because you also, in a country like Japan where media is everywhere, like you see all of, like, anime isn't just reserved for television, like obviously you have manga, but it's almost everywhere. And Haruhi is somebody who was, in a sense, betrayed by her belief that she was unique and had no place to turn to except media. The 3 people that she brings to the SOS Brigade that she imagines up, they're an alien, they're a time traveler, and they're an Esper, but they're specifically designed in certain ways. Like, you have the Esper, Itsuki, who is someone who monologues. You have Nagato, who's the quiet and shy, and also uber powerful. And then Mikuru, who is, for lack of a better word, fan service. These are all tropes that were in anime in the early 2000s and even in the 90s, especially in a lot of popular shows. So Haruhi is telling the anime industry, this is what you are. It's actually really, really interesting in how it does that. Oh, and NSYNC, yeah. NSYNC was escapable, especially the Bye 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 song. Wait, NSYNC even sang the Pokemon theme in the first... Wait, no way, no way. Google.com. NSYNC Pokemon... Like, I knew that the movie was big, but... Okay, they did the Poke Rap. That I can believe. And it says the cringe is strong. Dare I watch this? But I know that there was a soundtrack to this. And the song that I really loved from this soundtrack for the Pokemon movie was Don't Say You Love Me by M2M. Actually, I tried making that one of the... I tried adding that rather to one of my YouTube poops way back when, but it was muted, so I had to replace it with something else. NSYNC, where's NSYNC in this? I guess NSYNC did the Poke Rap. Okay, but still, I mean, they were on WB11, so no surprise there. Yes, Haruhi hit every level of who am I for a Japanese person, a teenager, a human, and an earthling in the now. Amazing and subtle delivery of the questions. Yeah. I mean, episode 0 especially. And the thing about episode 0 is that was the first episode that I watched. And so I watched it in the 0 to 13 order, in a sense. But that show is, like, I can't say enough good things about that show. It is that good. If you haven't watched it, you really should. I mean, even if you want to, like, you don't want to put up with Endless 8, which is just one episode repeated time and time again for the sake of saving, I don't know, screenwriting budget or something like that. Even if you want to skip all that, you're going to be left with an amazing show that has some really, really fascinating character design. And even if you don't like the characters, I mean, Haruhi in the show is just a focal point. She's not the main character. The main character is Kyon, whose eyes were watching the show through, and he doesn't exactly approve of it. I mean, but he is in a sense kind of trapped in it. So seeing all of this through his eyes, hearing his commentary, his snark, and in a sense feeling powerless, I don't think I've ever seen a show do that as well as Haruhi. There's broadcast order and there's episode order. I remember broadcast order. Yeah, the broadcast order is, I think that most people... Wait, what the heck? Did it not do that? Oh, oops. I think that the broadcast order was... What in the world? That's not how I saved it. Well, the broadcast order is interesting because it almost clashes with the way that the story is meant to be told. Like, I think that episodes 1 through 6 happening one after the other is the better idea. And everything that happens after that is, well, you know, whatever happens after. The baseball game, the computer club challenge, everything. Oh, man. Fun fact, that was at Anime Expo 2007. Mikuru's voice actor sang the episode 0. Come on, oh, man. I wish I was there. I got into Haruhi in 2008, just as 2008 started. All I was looking for was one scene from that show that I saw in a YouTube poop. I heard, okay, it comes from this show. I didn't know which episode, didn't think to search, so I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to watch every episode until I find it. I got hooked. That's how it happened. First thing I mentioned, I remembered wrongly. Well, an accurate tangent is the Japanese version of Pokemon also had a Pokerap, but it was very different. Yeah, the Pokerap is a very Kids WB11 thing. I don't know if you follow Walrus Guy on Twitter, but he often posts, like, he had this recent post where he showed how Kids WB took an animation from Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries and turned it into one of their commercials gags. So seeing NSYNC be a part of this doesn't really surprise me, like doing the Pokerap. And the way that they did the Pokerap in the end of each show, I mean, that's iconic. It's very Kids WB to have done that. Man, I wish it was called Kids WB. I think it's just called CW Kids now. Afterward, the dead silence calls... Oh, man. Afterward, the dead silence calls the MC to go, did you get it? It was intentional. And it hurts to have 2/3 of the audience who hadn't seen it go, oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. I think I forgot like 2 years ago to send you the reaction videos. Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, I remember when you sent me the AMV salad clips for... Oh, man. So, for context, David, I think this was back in 2010, 2009, when David first initially reached out, submitted these AMV clips for anime conventions, and some of those clips came from my YouTube poops. So, when they premiered in front of live audiences, he sent me them, and one that I really remember fondly is from Haruhi Blows Up, where Kyon's little sister pulls out the gun and shoots Kyon, and that reaction is amazing. I loved it. It just, everyone didn't know what to expect and they exploded laughing. But yeah, I mean, whenever you can. Pokemon and Sailor Moon were my introduction to anime. Actually, Sailor Moon was the first anime that I ever saw. It was extremely unique to me in how... Here we go. Let's just save that. Yes, I want to replace it. Like, the transformation scenes, which went on for God knows how long each episode. Like, no cartoon... Because keep in mind, it was not just that show. I was watching, like, cartoons like Rocko's Modern Life, Rugrats, they didn't do that kind of thing. And they weren't super serious about their storyline, so to say. So as a result, like watching that show for the first time made it a little bit more of a transformative experience, and it was really cool to see. It's really cool to see that kind of thing. Sailor Moon was so iconic for not just myself. I'm really glad that I'm not alone on that. Let's get that blood splatter evened out. Perfect. Same Cyber, Sailor Jupiter. Yeah, Sailor Jupiter best. I can't tell you which one's best. I mean, I tried rewatching it. I think it was like 10 years ago. And the 90s voice acting really showed. And when you're a kid, you probably just, that goes right over your head. But when you're rewatching it, the shrill voice when she whines is, I mean, of course, it's part of her character at the time. Sailor Moon was a really annoying character in the show. So that little touch was something that, hearing that. So I'm going to have to really think about which one was my favorite. I'm going to have to go back to my memories somehow. I wonder if there's an episode that's hidden down there somewhere. Did you send them? Let me check. If you sent them through Patreon, I think I got them. Let me just do a check. Oh, and I have to, I have to respond to your post on Patreon. I almost forgot about that. Yeesh. Here we go. Let me go here. Just take a sec. Yes. Scatology quote. Okay, yeah. Resend them. Send it to my Patreon if you want. I'll definitely get that unless you feel like you need to email me, in which case just ask me in the Patreon chat. Bro, 2010's voice acting is so bad sometimes it makes me miss 90s voice acting. Yeah, I mean, 90s voice acting ain't a peach either, but certain shows really did not have that very good voice acting that you want. In fact, there was it's very popular for a lot of anime clubs to completely reject dubbed anime in favor of subbed anime because it was so cringe at the time. And there are some studios that are doing damn good jobs. I mean, KyoAni, the Haruhi dub's fantastic. Crispin Freeman as Kyon just hit the nail right on the head. And not a lot of other shows got that same treatment. And, you know, it's unfortunate because, you know, if they did, they'd probably be taken a little bit more seriously. There were two different 90s dubs. I remember the earlier Deke cast. The Deke cast is the one that I remember. The later Cloverway one was awful. Sailor Moon sounded like a 40-year-old woman trying to sound like a teen. So I don't think I've seen the Cloverway one. I think the one I saw is the Deke one. Because, I mean, that's all that there was at the time. So I watched that one. Let's get this down here. Right there. Yeah. 4Kids voice actors. Were they 4Kids voice actors? God, I hope not. Well, actually, no. There's nothing wrong with 4Kids voice actors. They're very over the top sometimes, though. I just finished work, so I'm out for the night. Always a pleasure, Cap. I'll double check and make sure. Thank you, man. G Gundam was one of the only shows where the dub was actually superior to the sub. Interesting. Well, I can say this. The tone of the show, like, with any dub for an anime, you really have to find actors who get the tone right and respect the character that they're being. And that's the case not just for animation, of course. It's for, you know, any and everything. But animation so often will go ignored. Especially anime. Let's see if I can get... Ooh, yeesh. This is going all over the place. Actually, I wonder. Maybe I don't need that blood splatter. Yeah, I probably don't. So let's just do away with it. Nothing wrong with that. See if we can just make him fall faster. Yeah. Let's do away with that blood splatter. I think that's, we don't need it. But yeah, the acting for a lot of anime, sometimes it leaves a lot to be desired, but sometimes it reshapes the show in such a fantastic way, because sometimes the show in Japan was also crap. There was this one, I think that if you are a fan of any kind of bad anime, Ghost Stories ought to be immortal to you, because Ghost Stories was not a popular show in Japan. It was a super serious, I don't know, kids show where kids try to go around and exorcise demons. And when I say kids, I mean like they're 6 years old. So when they dubbed it, they didn't, I don't think the Japanese studio cared what the American studio did. They just said, do what you want. And what ended up happening is they made an abridged series from it. And you can find it on YouTube, and you will laugh, I promise you. Cloverway took over the dub work from Deke on Sailor Moon later on, like how Dragon Ball Z started with Ocean but went to Funimation since once they got the underpaid interns to do it cheaper. Interesting. So, I know that Sailor Moon was a really long show. I think that the last episode that I remember was, I don't know how deep this is chronologically, and again, I'm remembering this as a kid, someone who's younger than 10 years old. But the episode that I remember last seeing had Sailor Pluto in it, and Sailor Pluto emerged. This was her introduction. It was like she was in this bubble, and I think she emerged from this person while they were in a hospital bed. Now, I don't know the context, but that's how deep I got. What about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Singapore dub? Ooh, Singlish. This ought to be interesting. By the way, welcome, Uncle Dave. Welcome, my man. What's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Singapore dub like, I wonder? Well, first off, Singapore is... I think they would have done English because even though Singapore is chiefly populated by people of Chinese descent, I think that, in a lot of shows, they actually have English. They speak English, but their dialect is called Singlish because of the way that they say certain words. So I wonder how they did Yu-Gi-Oh! There. That reminds me, I remember when they re-released Morbius in theaters. And I said if they hired a YouTube poop guy to make a feature-length YouTube poop using Morbius as source, they would actually make more money. I really wish I could have done more with Morbius, but it was such a terrible movie, and the few parts that I really wanted to make YouTube poop jokes out of, I couldn't follow up on it as effectively as I wanted to. And maybe that was for the best, because I really did love the product that came out. If I tried to push myself on focusing solely on the movie, it probably would not have turned out as good at all. And you know what? All the better. Alright, let's see if we can make something of that, Beyblade's everywhere scene. Yeah, let's just make Beyblade squared here. So, we have to start at the beginning. Tenchi Muyo, there's another show that I remember watching. I only ever saw, a few episodes, and I think I saw a feature, I don't know if feature length's the right word, but a movie that was based on the chief storyline of Tenchi Muyo. Hey Cap, I can't attend today because of ramping up schoolwork, but I'll be able to attend from 6:29 onwards. That's alright, my man. Hey Journal, you enjoy your evening. Glad you were able to at least hop on at the times that you were able to last week. You work on your schoolwork, okay? Thank you. Love your work, man. Thank you so much, Uncle Dave. Sailor Pluto is a bit later in. Yeah, Sailor Moon has so much death and suggestive stuff, so it was amusing to see how they try to work around it, from the cousins to the constant death and rebirth. So, oh man. I don't remember anybody dying in Sailor Moon. And if they did, it went right over my head because I thought maybe they were just sick and they needed to be hospitalized. Actually, I don't even think that show had blood. If it did have blood, I'm remembering it wrong. Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune were a couple, but the dub desperately reminded us over and over and over that they were close family. Oh my god. Well, were they a couple in the original Japanese version and they just dubbed it out in the English version? Because I think all that went right over my head. Here we go. Here's the Let It Rip where 100 Beyblades are about to...
Jinga!
Let it rip!
How can we expand upon the number of Beyblades that are working their way? Let's see, but this is a good place to start. I'm just surprised that none of them hit him. How in the world did they miss? And how do you control a spinning top? In the commercials for Beyblade toys, I always saw them using some kind of trigger controller, and I did not understand how they did that to pivot it. Like, how do you pivot something that is spinning so quickly, make it go left, right, and all that? Whatever the case. All right, let's see. How can we make this happen? What I need to do is analyze each of these frames carefully. And take an extra sip of water. I need a lot of water. Okay, let's see. So we've got so there's one rip. And then all of these animated Beyblades, these computer animated Beyblades, come flying down. So we would need to isolate one of them, but we have an isolated Beyblade. It's the one that goes right through Chinga's heart. So I wonder if we could just reskin that somehow, or at least recolor it. So here we go. We have to go to the track motion version. Or actually, it's right here. I don't need track motion. Alright. And on top of that, the way that the... Let's see. If Jinga is standing perfectly motionless in this scene... Well, not here. Not here. A little bit further... Yeah, right here. If he's perfectly motionless, I think we can make this happen a lot easier. Yes, he is motionless. What about in other points? Yes, he's motionless here too. It's just... Oh, wait. Was there a little bit of a... Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking layering. If we can. Somehow we could layer all these falling Beyblades on top of one another. We'll have to use some masking here to mask out Jinga in both of these shots. That's going to be interesting. Now, what would be the punchline of this joke? Is there a better punchline than what is given right here? Is there something that can be added on? Can there just be like a mountain of Beyblades, like a pile of Beyblades right on top of him? Have you ever been scared of the Claxy, how do I say that? Claxy Supo logo as a kid? Not really. Not really. The only real... let's see. Was there ever a logo or anything that scared me as a kid like that? I mean, in Ed, Edd and Eddy, the OK cartoon, the KO cartoon logo was a little bit gruesome, but it was, you know, it was, I guess it was where the line was, so to say. All right, let's see. You're looking for a joke? I got a deep cut for you. How about the audio from the... Oh, Crossfire toy commercial. That's right. I remember the... Hang on. I remember that. Let's see. So we got the audio from Crossfire. We could use maybe Board James in this somehow. Let's see what we've got.
We start.
I believe you. You have to start. You absolutely have to start. Okay. This was the first introduction I ever had to Mike Mate. Actually, you know, I wonder if the Crossfire song would be a good place to start before I... Oops. Before I even go to that. Have you done a Simpsons YouTube poop? No, but I've done a King of the Hill YouTube poop that I think is okay. Fartsman, I was traumatized from watching the Rugrats show as a kid.
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate challenge. Crossfire. Crossfire. You can count. Crossfire. Crossfire. You can count. Crossfire. Crossfire.
This is so 90s. Actually, it's got 80s music. That's actually, I wonder if that's like some one-hit wonder band that did the music for this. It's like that late 80s intense hair metal sound. Hey, what's going on, Charles? I was there when you did YouTube Poop Tennis with Deeper Cut Grand Theft Auto Edition. Man, I'm gonna go back to that every stream somehow or another, but it was a wonderful tennis. I'm really, really glad you enjoyed it, Charles. Did you have any favorite parts? Yep. One of my favorites as well. I actually think the superhero and supervillain one that I did with Deeper Cut a year later tops it, but damn, that Grand Theft Auto one, it was so intense. So many emotional moments. Beyblade tops remind me of the spinning disc in the Crossfire commercial. Yeah, that's that was the... It's pretty close. I mean, there might be an opportunity to use at least a snippet of that audio from the Crossfire commercial. I wonder if there's a better quality rip of it as... Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no, this is just a cover. Crossfire featuring Steel Panther. I think I'll just go with the good old-fashioned retro drunk version. And all of its 240p goodness. Presumably 240p. The remixes and stuff, so many catchy songs. Yeah, the songs were, like, everything being layered on top of each other was so intensive. Like, trying to figure out, okay, we've got screaming, we've got record scratching. What more can we add? Well, in the end, it just became this oh my god. It just became this pile. There's no other way to describe it. This pile of sounds. And I love that, you know, I love that it's actually something that is a little bit of a because oh shit, here we go again. That meme, I kind of feel like a lot of people, like that song, that whole remix during the entire tennis was the precursor to that.
The ultimate challenge. Crossfire. Crossfire.
See if we can get the higher pitched Crossfire.
Crossfire.
Yeah, it's not an uninterrupted one. That's alright. Crossfire works. Here we go. Good suggestion. I love the Grand Theft Auto 4 clips in that tennis. Yeah, the Grand Theft Auto 4 clip that I love the most is when they're riding that motorcycle and he yells "smoke no," and then he bongs his head on the bar. Funny thing is that during that entire tennis match, like, I only had like a scant familiarity with Grand Theft Auto. The most I have had is with a little bit of the game from the San Andreas game. That was like the most exposure I'd had to any part of the Grand Theft Auto series. Everything else I just kind of, knew from seeing covers of it. But the more I watched that, I'm like, the more anxious I was to try and find a copy for myself, and I eventually just got it on Steam. But Deeper Cut, so entrenched in the Grand Theft Auto series, loves it, and of course has a copy of the game, but modded it. In fact, a lot of the scenes in Deeper Cut's rounds were actually he played the game and just replaced the character. Like the Haruhi lap dance scene in his round 3, for example, that's just right there. He just took it from the game, but he just replaced one of the figures with Haruhi. And a lot of people did that. In fact, it was always uploaded to YouTube, which is how I was able to kind of keep up with what he was doing. In fact, the Higurashi joke where Rena is beating somebody with a baseball bat while you hear that screaming sound, the beating by itself was on YouTube, and I was just fortunate that that joke, like, I love that sound effect, and Deeper Cut loved it too. So fortunate that that joke hit the way it did. Remixes stuff. I love the Grand Theft Autos. Yeah, I'm gonna start a debate. Are explosions funny or tragic? Depends on the context. You can make anything funny, but it's gonna depend on how you tell it. I can think of a couple of really funny explosions, probably, but I can also think of some tragic explosions as well. You got the wrong house, fool. Yeah. You really look too Canadian. I've had people think I was British, so I'll take Canadian. Let's see. I'm gonna have to get started on this here. So what I'm gonna do is split this clip right here. I want this scene and this scene. Now this is going to be the harder one to work with, so I'm going to start with this one. So what I'm going to do, at least try and figure out if I can do it, is, let's see, what I'm going to try and do is layer this on top of, let me just try and see how it looks. If I offset it just a smidge, how does it look here? That's what I thought. Just offsetting it like that, it doesn't make them. I wish there was a way to. Yeah, there. Unless I could. Nah, there's got to be a better way. Shame we don't have the cheap CGI later to show editors did. No, but what we could just resort to is the what we could just resort to here is the top that I was able to edit out and have that texture swapped or color changed, whatever the term you want to use is here. It's going to require a lot of layers though. a lot of layers, because so many Beyblades. If I want to make this work, it's going to need to be a lot of layers. So let's just get rid of this clip. Let's superimpose this top on here. Now the thing about this top is that it's not spinning, but I don't think it's going to be a problem, because the way that the other tops are spinning in this scene will help to create the illusion of this top spinning. So having this top flying all over the place and then adding it and re-adding it to the layers above and making it much more dense and getting it all to just make this giant pile of Beyblades at the end, that can be a really good way of doing it, but it's going to be really time consuming. Why is that blood you added in the scene where Chinga died shaped like the yellow submarine? I don't know. Why is it shaped like the yellow submarine? Is it one of those eBay things where now I have to sell this on eBay and make a fortune? I don't see the yellow submarine here, though. Oh, must be a Rorschach thing. Alright, anyways. We got this Beyblade here. We're going to have it flying through. Like, maybe from right to left, since there's a lot of empty space here. Actually, funny enough, in this scene, why do they do this 100 Bay thing? What are they trying to prove? That it's, you know, it takes 100 of them to try and beat this guy? Why not just go up to him and mug him? Why doesn't Team Rocket do that in Pokemon games, actually, now that I think about it? Okay. That's weird. Where is the top? It should be going from right to left, unless it's a little too far. So let's focus right here. Okay, here we go. Or maybe there were just so many tops here that I completely missed it. No, it still doesn't appear. It's on preview mode, so it ought to. Oh yeah, it's so many tops that's what's happening here. It is migrating from right to left. The problem is that it's not migrating all the way. So let's make that happen. If I wanted to go to the opposite side of the screen, I need to pull it all the way over there. There we go. There we go. Is your shirt a pattern of car-themed postcards? No, what it actually is Pixar movies. Let me just move this out of the way so you can see. But, hang on one second. So yeah, these are a whole bunch of designs from that relate to the Pixar animated series, like Monsters Inc., Ratatouille, Up, all that. And it comes from a company called Roosevelt's. Roosevelt, like, you know, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt. They make wonderful shirts. They have a lot of really cool, funky designs. In fact, a lot of the shirts I've worn on stream are Roosevelt's shirts. All those layers you mentioned reminds me of how they decided to code the attack animations in Gundam to be like 40 layers of effects rather than something more static. Well, it's I think in Gundam, you know, in some of the later series, didn't they have a lot of trouble animating the robots? Correct me if I'm wrong. But Gundam Gen Cross Rays, so maybe that was a series I heard about it from. But yeah, oh man, it doesn't surprise me there. I wonder what they used to edit that, because anime, as it got a lot more advanced, again, it didn't rely on those hand-painted backgrounds and drawings. It was usually digitally animated at that point, using a lot of 3D effects. So I wonder how it worked with Gundam. An explosion. An attack saying, "Rest in peace, Chinga." Well, I can probably add something like that. Let me just add a little text layer right here. Let me make it a deep red color. Let's see. Should I do rest in pingus or rest in piss? Actually, let me remind myself how to spell this character's name. Is it, Is this how it's spelled? Gingka. Okay. Gingka. Why did I think it was C's? Do both somehow. I'll see if I can. Maybe I can make this joke more than once. I can probably make it at the scene where he gets, destroyed by that Beyblade through the heart. So, superimposing this, create a new copy. Oh, wait, no. Not create a new copy. I want to create a new reference. There we go. So we're going to work on that a little bit. Bring this here. Oh, you can't do a rip scene without the obvious sad violin stock music. I don't know the name of it. Hope I know the one you mean. When I think of sad violin stock music, the one thing I think of is the world's smallest violin song from SpongeBob that momentarily plays. So I wonder if that's a possibility. If there's something else that fits, I'll see that. SpongeBob, world's smallest violin. Let's see. Maybe I can get just enough of the song.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Yeah, I love this. This is a perfect song. Oh my god, I'm envisioning it. Okay, let's see. Oh wait. I have no idea if this is the actual song from the show, but it's hella funny. Oh my god, I love that. That is so good. God. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see. Where was it? It was JLM. Mr. Krabs plays a song on the world's smallest violin. Oh my god. I don't know if this is what you were talking about, but I like this a lot.
Add song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Let's see if I can get it to restart, because I love those first few notes in this. Yeah, this is, yeah, perfect. Right about here. Yeah, some things never change. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Alright. So what I'm thinking is... let's see, I need enough of the song to play to really make it hit. So right about here. And I need to make it louder because this is very soft. So I think I could put it on the 3.8. Maybe a smidge louder. Let's add it to another layer, a new audio layer, and spike it to... maybe make it, just get it to the right level. I think this might be a little loud, but let's find out. Smidge quieter. Yeah, there we go. And then the rest in Pingus Jinga is gonna fade in. Now, what I need to do here is complete this effect, because I have him on the ground right now, but what I want to do is apply a green chroma keyer to get rid of the grass in the background, make it look like he actually landed on the same surface that he's standing on in this end scene. It's almost like this concrete that you can... oh, let me go right back to this concrete that you can see. So for that, I might just need to pull a stock image of a concrete, or I don't know, concrete floor or something like that. And how in the world is that gonna look? I wonder. And this is a pretty good texture right here. Save image as. The cool part about looking for textures like these is that they're needed for 3D models. I did a little bit of work in 3ds Max once, and I got to understand how it is that textures were applied to those 3D models. So download is what it was classified as. Let's go to download and go right here. I'm going to be dead if I'm a person that doesn't come back. Well, the thing is, I don't like getting my hopes up for anybody coming back. Think of it like this. If they come back, think of it as a surprise rather than an expectation. Okay, here we go. Oh, did it do that thing? Yeah, it did that thing. I needed to get rid of this anchor. Just focus on this. Now, if I can migrate these all up, maybe I need these migrated up by one layer, so that way I can make room for the concrete floor. And if I remove these masks, yeah, it should still work. So, let's make it happen. Let's put the concrete floor beneath on this layer. And then go here, video effects, chroma keyer, green screen, and let's see how it does. I'm probably going to need to apply a couple of green screens because there are different shades to that grass. Let's get the first shade up, and now let's see what happens when we toggle it back on. Oh god. Oh god. Let's decrease the high threshold. And then Increase low threshold just enough. Huh. Actually interesting. Oh. Not there yet. But we are getting there. And if I blur this, will that make it easier? If I blur the background, maybe. So we have a blurred background a little bit. Now let's add another chroma key here. And then we're going to see how it all looks in motion. See how good we did on making this effect work. This is a darker color. I think it's going to get rid of some of the lines on this Jinka model. Let's find out what happens. Decrease high threshold. It's removed a lot of the color. I don't like it. Let's get rid of it. Gets rid of too much blue. Yeah, this seems like a shade of blue here. So if we leave it as is, how does this look? I mean, we could say that they're shadows, technically. So we're going to have to go this frame by frame. And why is it taking a while to kick in? Why is it kicking here? Instead, oh wait. Why is it kicking in at that point? Did I add it to the wrong video? No, I did, but it's supposed to be Let's see if we can figure this out. Why does there's no animation cell or anything or there's no anchor that's dictating whether or not it's supposed to do that. So why is it doing that? I wonder if it has to do with this. Did you hear about Silva Gunner? No, I did not. Is he alright? Let's see. Let's pop this open. See what we've got here. Oh, no, I have to know. Wait. Okay. Nothing. I mean, I'm not sure if it was something that would appear in news of any kind, but still. What happened with Silva Gunner? Or is it Siva? Oh, whatever. Alright, let's see. Why does this... Unless... I wonder if it has to do with something on this particular element. Remove this. What do we have? Oh, well, that's interesting. This I'm going to have to come back to on a different day. My brain is a little fried right now, and I'm going to need to apply my brain to this to figure out what exactly is going on here. So how can, let's see, we've got about 11 minutes left in the stream. What can we do? Let's see if we can do the joke that was brought up a little bit earlier, and that is the falling for hours. Let's see if we can get something like that happening at some point. If not, just create it, leave it loose in the video so that we can kind of connect it like railway cars. So let's go to the very edit that I need. So we've got Jinka who's falling down. I wonder if we could do some something else that's really interesting that I did just think of. And that is making him fall up. Let's take these clips right here, and I need these sound effects to accompany them. And I'm going to go to a different spot in the video. And paste these. Wait, what the? What the heck? For a second I thought Vegas crashed again. Let's see. I think it's got to be one more layer. Let's see how it looks. Yep, that looks right. They add jokes like the SMW PAL remix where the melody shifts to which Dr. Cartoons. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm sure I get it if I saw it though. They add jokes to the Super Mario World PAL remix where the melody shifts to Witch Doctor by Cartoons. Like is there like the song Witch Doctor in one of the episodes? Okay, so here we have Jinka falling up. And to make this happen, what we gotta do is we've gotta just take this anchor right here and reverse it. Well, reverse where it's going. So instead of north, we need it to go south in a hurry. I wonder what kind of hijinks this will lead to. And I'm going to use my arrow key. I'm just holding my finger button on the arrow key until it gets where it needs to get so that I can measure it right looking at the preview screen. See what we got. Okay. Now, the opening notes from Super Mario World's athletic theme is similar to how Witch Doctor starts. Okay, Silva mixed them together in a how did I never notice it before kind of way. Okay. Well, I know he's very talented, and I wonder what that sounds like. I have to catch that. I feel bad that I don't know the context of this. Alright, we're almost there. Just a few more until that foot is out. It's going to lead to a really sped up animation, so I wonder if we'd have to push how far the... Here we go. Push how far the... Push the anchor is so that we can slow down the pacing of that. Okay. Regardless, let's get our Super Mario World episode, Mama Luigi. And that is going to be found in the YTP folder. And let's go for Mama Luigi. Mama Luigi. Actually, I could just search. Come on, you can do it. You've got this, little Asus, you. Oh, I don't have Mama Luigi. Huh. Oh, no, I do. It's just in another folder. It's in... It's in the... let's see if I can find that right folder here. Play phrase, JLon, speech, streams, D-speech. I know it's here. I know it's here somewhere. Working on. Yeah, that's it. In DLAM, in play phrase. Huh. It's amazing how we always come back to the original hits. Alright, let's put that into the folder we want. We want Beyblade. And paste. Copying and pasting. Good. Excellent. Wonderful. Now, we need the I Fell for Hours scene, which is very early on. And let's pull that into the tray, so to say. And that's the magic balloon. Let's get rid of the other stuff.
I fell for hours!
Now, we have him falling up. And, ooh, wait. No, if he's falling up, the magic balloon. Oh, man, the magic balloon. How did I not think of that? Oh, man. Wow. The magic balloon. Okay. Let's get that magic balloon from this episode here. Okay, nothing below me but boiling lava. Good thing I found a magic balloon. Which, in reality, the magic balloon does absolutely nothing. He would have fallen regardless. Okay. Yes. The internet has ruined the pea balloon. If you know, you know. I'm afraid I don't know. Maybe that is for the best. Okay. So, we've got the clip. I'm just going to say magic balloon. So instead of I fell for hours, I'm just going to turn it into a good thing I found a magic balloon joke.
Nothing below me but boiling lava! Good thing I found a magic balloon!
Yeah, I like that. If there's another fell for hours application, we can definitely do that, but I think that the magic balloon is a swell, very swell way of doing it. Now, what I need to do here, I need to make this quick. Let's see if I can wrap things up as quick as I want things to be wrapped up. What I need to do is get the magic balloon cut out. HIJKLM. Then, and the output aspect ratio is there. That's good. That's good. Let's go to the mask. Go down here. And let's get this magic balloon masked out. Grateful. Yeah, I'm pretty grateful. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have a funny feeling that I know what it might be pertaining to, but I'm not going to look it up to find out if I'm right. I'd rather stay in the dark. Here we go. Let's get the tail of that balloon. Get this. Just a little more. Just a little more time. Come on. I know that we can get this joke done. So let's mask it out. And then cut this. And I want to paste it right over here. So what I'm going to do here, let me just put this up north so that, okay, it's right about here. Let's move this to where Jinka, quote unquote, lands, right here. Right there. Okay, so I need to move this north now. Let's get this, and then I'm gonna use the pinch punch effect to make it look like Jinka touched the magic balloon. So And we have to add a smoke effect, but let's focus on this first. So the magic balloon is going to get popped. It's going to dissipate. And now let's get this pinch punched. Alright, it's 10 o'clock where I am. Let's make this the last thing that we do. Come on. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Now, with the pinch punch effect, what happens if this moves up? Does it stay with the... Let's see. No, it doesn't. So I'll have to use track motion, but that's okay. We got a good start on it. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad you had fun on this, Mr. Springfield. And I'm glad you had fun on this too. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to continue next week. Same time, same place on this stream. We're going to continue Beyblade. I think this is a fantastic source stream. Or source to have on the stream. So, 7 to 10. And I'm hoping that we get a little bit more done in some of the areas of this episode that we barely even touched. In fact, there's even so much of this episode that I've worked on that I haven't even shown you. I'm really anxious to. Uncle LJ, thank you so much for popping on. Unfortunately, we're kind of concluding things, but I'm really glad you were able to catch a little bit of the tail end. Yes, Kim, glad you had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hopping on. Well, enjoy your evening, enjoy your morning, afternoon, wherever you are. I'll see you next week.